There is a moment many people fear more than pain itself, and that is the moment when someone says there is nothing left to try. Those words sound final, like a door closing, and they often arrive when time feels thin. This story begins there not as drama but as reality, because many systems are built to stop at that sentence. The context is illness, but the deeper context is how we define effort and responsibility. When we hear we tried everything, we usually believe it. We assume the system has reached its edge, but that assumption hides a much larger truth. The first surface insight is about hope. At first, hope feels passive, like waiting for someone else to act. Many people live with hope as something they hold quietly, while trusting that experts somewhere will find answers in daily life. This looks like waiting for a better policy, a better product, a better moment. Hope becomes a pause, but in this story, hope changes shape. It becomes movement. It turns into study, testing, and action. This shift matters because hope alone does not change outcomes. Action does, but action does not always mean inventing something new. Sometimes it means looking harder at what already exists. That is the surface lesson, but there is more underneath. The second insight challenges a hidden assumption. The assumption is that solutions must be new to be real. We believe progress means invention and novelty because that is what gets celebrated and funded. This belief shapes medicine, business, and even personal growth. We buy new tools instead of learning old ones. We chase upgrades instead of understanding basics. But here the work shows that many answers are already on the shelf. They are simply pointed in one direction instead of many. The body does not care about labels. It responds to mechanisms. When different diseases share the same underlying problem, the same tool can help. This assumption that old tools are finished hides enormous potential. The third insight is structural, not personal. The system rewards what is profitable, not what is possible. Clinical trials cost money. Rare diseases have small markets. Generic drugs have low returns, so the structure quietly pushes attention toward new expensive treatments for common conditions while rare patients wait. This is not about bad people, it is about incentives in everyday life. We see this when workplaces focus on visible metrics instead of real impact, or when social platforms reward noise over value. Structure shapes behavior even when intentions are good. This is why so many solutions fall through the cracks. They exist, but no one is paid to carry them forward. The reframing comes when we stop asking what can we invent and start asking what can we connect. The world already holds knowledge scattered across studies, pharmacies, and patient stories. When we connect these dots, patterns appear. This reframing turns medicine into a matching problem instead of a guessing game. It also restores agency, because it says progress does not always require starting from zero. It requires curiosity, persistence, and responsibility. Applying this to daily life may feel far from hospitals, but it is not. We all face moments where we believe options are exhausted in careers, relationships, health habits. We say we tried everything when what we mean is we tried the obvious paths. This story invites a different question. What have we not connected yet? What experience, insight, or tool from one area might apply here in daily life? This could be advice from an unexpected person or a skill learned long ago. It could be asking a different question instead of repeating the same one. The optional deepening is about courage and community. Turning hope into action is rarely done alone. It requires support, belief, and shared effort. The work described here only moved forward because people chose to help, fund, amplify, and participate. This reminds us that no system changes from one person alone. Real change happens when individuals act and others decide to join. When someone refuses to accept the final sentence, it gives permission for others to question it too. Over time, this builds momentum, not just cures. As we sit with this story, it becomes clear that the most dangerous phrase is not "we are out of time," but "we tried everything," because it closes curiosity, it ends responsibility, and it teaches us to accept limits that may be artificial. The alternative is not reckless optimism, it is careful persistence. It is the belief that effort does not end where profit does. It is the choice to keep looking even when the path is unclear. So as you think about the places in your life or in the world where someone has said there is nothing more we can do, the quiet question to hold is, what if that sentence is not the end but the beginning of a different kind of search?